Hey Canucks fans, thanks for waiting. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live for Sunday night, May the 30th. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive and timely. Thanks for waiting for me. I appreciate you waiting. And let me give my shout outs as usual. Firstly, to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, Shea Family Channel, and Jamie's Sports Talk, and more. Appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, simply press the join button underneath this or any of my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. So thank you to all of you. Had had 4 Hall of Fame member chats today on Zoom. All of them hilarious. A lot of really funny things stemming from all of them. So I appreciate, I just appreciate the time to get to know them. And I have a couple more throughout the rest of the week. Also want to give a thank you to the mods right away. I appreciate all of you, and we'll see how much work you have to do tonight. But you guys know that I trust you completely, and I trust that you'll do what you need to do tonight. So thank you. And Monkey9, I still don't know what's going on. If they're supposed to be sponsoring me or whatever, so I'll just leave that up there for now because that's always a lot of fun. And I appreciate their sponsorship. I actually had some food from them this past weekend, and it was wonderful. They treated me to some pizza and to some one of their pasta specials right now. So make sure you check out Monkey9, and they are here in Richmond. You can dine in now, you can dine out, you can do whatever you need to do. So let me chat for a few minutes first. I'll probably go for about 8 or 10 minutes, and then I'll turn it over to you. So if you're new here, welcome. I chat for about 8 or 10 minutes, do my intro, and then I turn it over to you for Canucks and hockey related questions. And the last 5 to 10 minutes will be Ask Me Anything. And I'll get to that Ask Me Anything aspect in a second. No matter where you're watching from, if you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond in the Lower Mainland, in the city in the Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or around the world, thank you. I do not take you for granted. There's 30 of us in here on a Sunday night where the Canucks haven't played for about a week. So thanks for being here. And I know that you could be doing absolutely anything else, but the fact that you're here with me means a lot. So the fact that you're here, why don't you like this video while you're here? Let's get those likes up to about 15 or 20, since there are 29, 30 people in here. So let's get the likes up. Let's also, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, the subscriber count is growing really well. Membership, you'll see, if you're here all the time, you can see that the subscribers are now over 65-20, which is really good. Membership's growing a little bit slower, but that's okay. That's okay. That's a bit more of an investment, but hopefully the people that are members are finding it worthwhile. Okay, let me talk about a couple things, and then I'll turn it over to you. Firstly, I on the suggestion of one of my subscribers, I brought back the Ask Me Anythings today. Now, I recognize that not everyone can come to all of my streams. Maybe it's a little late. Maybe they're out of town. Maybe they're back east, around the world, whatever it is. So I brought back Ask Me Anythings, and it's kind of funny. I never feel like rushed or out of control here, but I always feel like I'm playing catch up, as you guys know. With the Ask Me Anything vlogs, they're my own vlogs, so I can take as long as I want answering the questions. So I got through about 8 or 10 questions today, and there were many that I couldn't. I actually got about 20 questions asked, which was really, really awesome. I think it's because of the video that I posted yesterday, which I'll get to in a second. So if you haven't checked out my Ask Me Anything from earlier today, I invite you to do so. Thank you for submitting those questions. Hey, Shea Family Channel, welcome. You got to make sure Jamie, you get back to me about our Zoom chat. You're the one person I'm waiting to hear from, so make sure you check out that link that I sent you. I have openings on Monday and Tuesday still. Okay, so Ask Me Anything was good. The other thing was yesterday, the biggest news for the Canucks, they signed Vasily Podkolzin, our 2019 first round, 10th overall draft pick, signed him to a 3-year entry-level contract. No surprise, given that I've been vlogging about it for the past couple of days, and that Jim Benning said basically for guys in his kind of category, you had to sign them by June the 1st. So we knew that was going to happen over the next couple of days, and the Canucks did announce it indeed this morning. So 3-year entry-level deal, very similar to what Höglander, Hughes, Pettersson. So $925,000 a year, which is basically the most you can get, plus a bunch of performance bonuses. So the main thing is we can now count, not that there's any doubt, but we can now count on Podkolzin being here, fighting for a spot in the lineup. My guess is he starts on the third line, but who knows? Höglander was inserted immediately into the second line, and we saw how well he did. But the biggest thing is we can look forward to Vasily Podkolzin joining us. I just got an alert. Oh, here I go. I can't read again. Todd Bersushi. Thank you for the subscription, Todd. Yes, I still haven't rectified the whole subscriber thing. So you are going to see me leaning into my computer every time I hear an alert, because for some reason this stream here, it now craps out on me, so I can't watch what I'm doing on this computer, but I can do it up on that computer. So anytime there's a new sub or whatever, I will have to look at it over there, and it's not the end of the world, but just kind of funny because then you see a horrible close-up of my good-looking face. Okay, so where were we? Shea Family Channel. Jamie, I sent it to Jamie and Shelly. Wherever you get your YouTube notifications, that's where you should have got it the first time. And then Jamie, I sent it to your Facebook today in response to your message. So it's a link called Sign Up Genius. All you got to do is click on the link I sent you, and then you can sign up for Monday or Tuesday. So make sure you do that today, Jamie. That'll be really good. Okay, so Podkolzin is signed. Awesome. I was actually grateful that I was able to vlog about it last night. You know me. I don't necessarily have to be the first one. I know obviously the faster you are, the better your video does in terms of views and hits and everything. But I was able to vlog about it last night, which is great. And then this morning when the Canucks actually announced it, I was in church for a couple hours. So I was glad that my vlog went out last night, and I was grateful for that. So that's one thing. Vasily Podkolzin coming to the Canucks, which is cool. Obviously, big Game 7 tomorrow, Toronto and Montreal, pretty crazy. Everyone who's in my confidence pool, I'll send up updated standings tomorrow night. Then we have Canucks After Dark, so as long as it's not a quadruple overtime, tomorrow Parker and I should be able to meet at 10 o'clock tonight and go online. I will likely do some sort of live stream on Wednesday for the NHL Draft Lottery, depending on what time it is, if I can get back from work and if it makes sense to do it. It might be just 2 hours of me saying, sorry, I don't know that guy. Sorry, I don't know that guy. Oh, what position does that guy play? Yeah, I think he'd be great on a blue line. Then someone else says, no, he's actually a forward. So we'll see. You guys know my prospect knowledge is not great. I know a lot about the guys once we draft them, but I think I'll do something. We'll get together on Wednesday. I'll just have it on kind of thing, just to hang out with you guys. Also, starting my master's, my next course number 6 out of 12 in my master's. So that's number 5 out of 12. So that's going well. But this one's, I'm a little bit scared because it's 16 weeks compressed into 8. So it's intensive. So I'm going to have to be really very careful with my time. And if you watch my video from 2 days ago, I explained how I'm not going to do the NHL 2-on-1s anymore. They weren't really moving the needle. And I want to continue working on these streams and on the Canucks stuff. Yeah, no problem, Jamie and Shelly. Just check Jamie's Facebook and it'll be there. Last thing I want to say, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. I did some work on the buyouts because a lot of people are asking me in these streams and in my vlogs, who is the best buyout candidate? And I've given you half of the proper information. I've always taught you or tried to explain that when you're calculating someone's buyout, i.e., say Louis Eriksson's, you take 2/3 of his remaining cap hit, and then you spread it over twice the remaining of his contract, the remaining term. That's why you never do a buyout of a guy who has got 2 or 3 years left, because then now you're looking at 4 or 6 years on the books. So the only time you should really buy someone out is in their final year, because you know that the cap hit's going to be in effect of 2 years. That number I told you about is actually cash paid to them, salary paid. The actual cap hit number is another calculation that's too hard to explain here. But basically, I figured out that Jake Virtanen is certainly worth buying out. He's only going to cost $50,000 against our cap the next season, and then $500,000 in the season after that. So a total of $550,000 cap hit, regardless of the money you have to pay him. So that's pretty good. Holtby is the next best. You get some cap savings this year. He'd only count $500,000 against our cap this year, then like $2 million after that. And then Roussel, Beagle, and Eriksson aren't worth it for those three guys. If you don't want them, it's easier to put them in Abbots. I almost said Utica. Better to put them in Abbotsford. So Cap Friendly has a really good thing called a buyout calculator where you can figure it out. But this is what you need to know: is in order of, does it make sense to buy them out? It's Jake Virtanen, then Braden Holtby, and then don't even consider Roussel, Beagle, and Eriksson. Okay, that's good. Let's go to your questions now. Canucks and hockey related only, and then I'll save the non-hockey, non-Canucks until the end of the stream. Great to see a lot of people here, members, non-members. Fangirl, hi Clay. Do you think Benning will be the Canucks representative for the draft lottery this year? I do think so. It'll be a way to reintroduce him to people, to the general audience, and a reminder that he's still here for the next 2 years. But who knows? Maybe that's the day that they announce that the Sedins are with the Canucks, which I doubt. I think that's going to take a little while longer. C Edits, hey Clay, what did you think about the Reeves hit on Graves? Well, the Graves hit on Janmark was bad, and the Reeves hit on Graves was ridiculous. I saw him kneeing, trying to drive his knee through Graves' face. You know, I almost liked Reeves when he was standing up for the Black Lives Matter movement last summer, but he's a total jerk. So I thought both moves were unnecessary. But yeah, the Reeves, he's going to get suspended for sure. At least he should be. Nux, I can't believe Podkolzin is 6'4" now. He was 6'1" when we drafted him. Wow, that's crazy. Who do you think Podkolzin would turn out to be? Malkin 2. No, I've heard more like Pavel Buchnevich, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not sure if he's going to be like the offensive dynamo that Malkin is, but we'll see. I think it'll be definitely he can max out as a second liner and a really good one for sure. Jean Dumbrod, can you please do a stream on Tuesday? No, I don't think I'll be able to do pre-lottery stream on Tuesday night, only because I'd have nothing to add, and I already know what my Monday night, Tuesday nights are looking like because I'm starting to study again. So probably wait till Wednesday. Shea, thank you. We'll talk about that. Shea's family channel. That's awesome. Reeves is dirty. Yeah, Colorado 7-1 victory. Absolutely nuts tonight. Absolutely nuts tonight. Sharms, hey Clay, hope all is good. I am good. Hope you're well, Sharms. Thoughts on the Vegas game? Why couldn't they play that against last year? Also, you're planning on stream for the lottery. So yeah, that was a pummeling. I actually had a couple thoughts that we played them so much better, but then Colorado's a lot better than we are. A lot of other different factors. Vegas coming off a game 7 against Minnesota. So yeah, I expect them to play a lot better in game 2, but I think a lot of that had to do with how good Colorado is for sure. And yes, I'm planning to stream the lottery. Don't know what that's going to look like, how long it'll be, but planning to do something. Oh, another thing. So excuse me, I have to go as I see Armin subscribe. Thank you, Armin. I appreciate it. I'm just looking. That is so bad when I go so close to the camera. I wonder if I should cover up with my hand next time. But thank you, Armin, for the new subscription. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. When are they picking the order for the draft lottery? No, Jogpa, the lottery is picking the order for the actual draft. So don't think of it. The draft lottery odds are set. Vancouver has the 9th best odds at 5.4%. But you don't draft. You're not doing a lottery for the. You don't do a lottery for the draft order. I mean, sorry, you don't do a lottery for the order of the draft lottery. We all have our odds. The lottery is for the actual draft order, which will happen at the end of June, or is it end of July? One of the two. How high are your hopes for Podkolzin? They're high. They're very high, but I'm realistic as well. But I've talked about this a lot on my channel over the last couple of days. I was there when the Canucks drafted Podkolzin, and there's a lot of mixed reaction, a lot of cheers, a lot of boos, because I think people wanted Cole Caulfield or Matthew Boldy, someone from the U.S. National Development Team, and then a lot of confusion. I remember Podkolzin was ranked as high as number 3 behind Hughes and Kakko earlier in the year, and then he dropped off a little bit. Excuse me. I can't even read it. But thanks for the new subscription. I had a lot of whatever. Gosh, that is so bad. Maybe I'll just say thank you, and then I'll figure out a way to read it better. But yeah, I do have high hopes for Puckholes and Fangirl for sure. Dogwood, I thought the refs did the best with Reeves handling out all those penalties. They deserve 1 to 3 stars. Noah, do the Canucks still pay Ferland if he retires when he still has a contract with the Canucks? Yeah, because it is a... Oh no, if he retires, you are basically opting out of your contract. I know it doesn't count against the cap hit, obviously. I don't know if they actually have to pay him. If a player retires before the end of his contract, you'd think no, because that's the definition. They're retiring out of the league. My guess is not. But then why would he retire, right? He might as well stay on injured reserve and collect his salary. C edits, what are your predictions for Game 7 of Leafs and Habs? I just think it's white knuckle time for the Leafs. I think the Habs will win. It'd be amazing if it was an overtime game at the risk of pushing, Canucks After Dark later. Well, it shouldn't be. It's a 4 p.m. start. But I think Montreal will win. I actually don't care who wins. I don't want to see Toronto fans suffer. It's not like that. But I think Montreal's going to win. I really do. As much as I like Jack Campbell and my cousin Dusty who worked with Jack Campbell, I take Carey Price over Jack Campbell. Remember, the only 2 goals that beat Carey Price, they both went off of Jeff Petrie, which is kind of strange. Kai, hi Clay. Just curious why the Canucks didn't re-sign Ethan Keppen. Was he a locker room problem or they just didn't see a future with him? I think there are a lot of guys like that. I don't know a lot about Keppen, but... yeah, they have until June 1, or is the window closed already to sign him? Maybe they still do, unless there's already news out there that they're walking away from him. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot about him, Kai. Sorry. I'm doing great, Noah. I hope you're doing well as well. Adam, Adam and I had a funny chat today. Clay, I checked out Zach Weren's contract signed for 1 more year at $5 million. Do you think if we could move a couple contracts, this may be a possible target? Adam, yeah, as we talked about, I think he's RFA though, right? He's coming off his second 3-year contract, so. Yeah, he would have to get to UFA first because it's not worth offer sheeting him. Fangirl, thank you for the donation. That is awesome. Thanks very much. Appreciate you. D Deeper, just want to drop it and say thanks for all that you do. Premium content right here. Thank you, D Deeper. I appreciate that. By the way, if you're new here, you guys know that I read mostly questions for this first part so I don't fall behind, and then any compliments to me, of course, as well, and affirmation. By the way, we're at 65 people in here, which is great. We're only at 16 likes, so if we want to bump that up a little bit, let's do so. And it's a new member, but I can't read it. Fangirl, oh, it's the donation. Thank you, Fangirl, once again. And yeah, let's like this video. We're only at 18 likes. Like the fact that we're together. Like the fact that we're coming in the summer. Like the fact that most of us are getting vaccinated. Like the fact that we are all members of the GLCPC. Good looking and positive. Most surprising takeaway from the Jim Benning interview on Donnie and Dolly Infernal. I vlogged about it, as you know. I think his admission that he does hear the criticism, but he understands it comes with the territory. However, that it does affect his family, and that shouldn't be a surprise to any of us, anyone who's in the public sphere. But it still was very telling that he mentioned it, and it sure set off a lot of discussion on social media. I think there's a lot of insensitive people around right now, to be honest with you. Yeah. Do you guys like it when I come close to the screen, or would you rather me not? Because if every time I get a sub, I'm happy to come close to the screen and read it out to give that person some love. But then you get a really extreme close-up of the right side of my face. So let me know what you guys think. Thoughts on Seth Jones, perhaps signing him next offseason. Is his contract, is he a free agent, or is he just wants out of Columbus? Let me look it up real quick. I don't think we should trade for him. He's going to be too... Oh, he's going to be UFA. Wait. Let's see what it says. Test free agency. Okay, so he's got 1 more year probably. And then, yeah, 1 more year left on his contract. I don't know. I think the right shot D sounds really good, but probably going to be really expensive. But do you try and go after him in the summer 2022 when we have a bunch of money come off the books? Maybe that's a better thing as opposed to trading for him. What do you think about the refs in the playoffs so far? I know there's a lot of people complaining, Samuel. It's tough. It's really tough. But, honestly, I haven't paid as much. I don't think... Should I say it's not as bad as people are saying? I know a lot of people are saying it's bad, writing articles about it and stuff. I don't have that strong of a negative reaction to it, but I haven't watched the games admittedly very, very closely. Just have to be very honest. 9th best odds will probably pick 25th overall. Well, thankfully we don't have to drop that far back. Hey, Lucas. Yes, that was a fun Zoom call as well. Cam from Seattle. Hello, Cam. Next year, how do you think the Kraken will do in the Pacific next year? You would know more than me. Playoffs, maybe? Cameron, respectfully, I don't think the Kraken are going to make the playoffs only because GMs who were negotiating with Vegas and helped them get so good so fast, I think they've learned their lesson. So my gut feeling, they might fight the Pacific Division. If they go back to the Pacific, it's going to be pretty weak. You have Vegas and Edmonton as good teams. Then you have everyone else, Vancouver, Calgary, Seattle, and the 3 LA teams, California teams. So there is a chance that the Kraken could be fighting for a playoff spot, just like we want Vancouver to do. Dominic, hello and goodbye. Thanks for popping in. When do you think a potential Sedin's deal gets announced? Jim Benning hinted 2 weeks or so. Liam, yes, cap-wise it wouldn't fit, but I do think Nugent Hopkins would be a great fit here. Free close-ups, yeah. Yeah, Lucas, you're right. The mixed reaction to Podkolzin. I think a lot of people were surprised, too, that he fell to 10th. I know I was. Owen Powers, Luke Hughes, or John Kent. I don't even know who John Kent is. Owen Powers, the bigger body. Luke, I just have a feeling that Power and Hughes will be gone by the time the Canucks pick. But I'm interested in both of them. I've always said if we get a chance to draft Luke, I think it makes Quinn even more happy to stay here. Not that I'm worried about that. Jean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Jimbo comes in the stream tonight? He's busy rehearsing his draft lotto interviews. He's trying to say it without saying, and he's got to practice a lot. Is his favorite for sure. Yes, Dogwood, I saw I had a lot of diarrhea. I mean, that's the guy's name. Yes, Dangle is doing some funny. Dangle does. He has the play-by-play on because he's Sportsnet, so he only reacts. He doesn't do actual play-by-play. Inferno, hope Montreal wins, so Winnipeg has an easier division. Man, regardless of who wins, Montreal or Toronto, it's not going to be easier or harder. But Winnipeg's just rested and they're feeling good. Area 51 Sports Network is in the house. Hello, Area 51. Nice to see you. Check out all the great work that they do. McKinnon was at 48 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good. That's very fast. Wow. What do you think the AHL team name is going to be? Marcello or Marcelo? I'm not sure. A lot of people are thinking Abbotsford Arrows, Abbotsford Airplanes, or maybe that's Abbotsford Millionaires, Abbotsford. I've heard like Arrows for sure, Millionaires, something to do with flight because of the airport. Who knows? Won't be the Comets, that's for sure. Tayyab, do you think Murray and Hopi Goaltending would be horrible right now? Yeah, I think they'd be pretty bad, for sure. So would anything with Jari in it. Edmund, what would you be willing to trade for Seth Jones? I think it's going to take a roster player and 2 prospects for sure. Or, sorry, 2 other assets, whether it's picking a prospect, 2 prospects, 2 picks. Yeah, that's what I think it would take. And honestly, it'd have to be depending on the package. You'd probably have to give away one of the big 4 up front, Pettersson, Miller, Horvat, or Besser. And I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest with you. But do you load up draft picks and prospects, even because that's where we're kind of weak right now? It's tough. That's why it's so tough to acquire like big name talent in the NHL. Who do you think will win between Leafs and Habs to play my Jets in round 2? While pro gamers with a 6, so the pro 6-emers, I think the Habs are going to win. See, edits. What do you think about what JB said about Juolevi in his interview? I was fine with it. He obviously he wants Juolevi to work out, but he's also acknowledging that he wasn't making excuses for Juolevi, but he was saying that he was among the most sick on the team. So it sounded close to making excuses, but I think Jim Benning desperately wants Juolevi to work out C edits, and I do too. If you stream on Wednesday, are you still going to stream on Thursday? Yeah, Fangirl, probably, but I'm going to play that one by ear. I'm going to see how this twice a week is going with my studying as well. I keep telling you guys that I'm going to be so busy studying, and yet I'm making plans to do all these streams, so I got to figure that out. Adam, I just stopped in for a minute. Need a good night of rest. Take care of my friends. No problem, Adam. And as Adam and I joked about earlier, he asked the question. I get to it like 6 or 7 minutes later, so he knows that I always say good night to him, even if I'm late. Edmund, when your family sees someone post something negative in your channels or Twitter, do they consider or ask questions? No, I usually bring it up to them. Because they don't really watch my stuff or follow all my stuff, except for my son Sean. And my son Sean likes to make fun of me because that stuff doesn't sweat me at all. Like it really doesn't bother me. And Sean and I usually have a good chuckle about it, or it's probably something that Sean has already said to me already. Great question, Edmund. Clay, P.D. Hughes and Seth Jones have the same agent. No, I did not know that that Jones was part of that as well. Area 51 says, you're beautiful, so don't worry about the close-ups. Yeah, that you say that now. If I'm up and down more than like 6 times after stream, you might be singing a different tune, but thank you. You're very kind. Inferno, I watch the vlog. I watch pretty much every single vlog. Inferno, that's why I appreciate you. And you are among the next of my next group of moderators if I ever need more than the moderators I have now. Inferno, I have you written down on another list. Thank you. When do you think Benning resigns Hughes and Pedersen? It could take a while, Fangirl. I think it could take all summer. But that's not. I don't think we should worry about that though. Canucks Dream, you made it. Awesome. The average player, I'm sure the average player is skating between 20 and 30 kilometers an hour. I don't know actually, because some guys are pretty fast, right? I think maybe 20 to 30. That's such a big range, 20 to 30 kilometers an hour. Because even when they chart McDavid, I see it between 30 and 40, and that's really fast. So maybe between 20 and 30. I don't know actually. Who do you want the Canucks to sign most out of? Fogle, Hyman, Wenberg, Bukestad, and Kopp? No, that's funny that you meant those are like the 5 guys that I've been talking about. So either we're thinking the same thing, or you remember that those are the 5 guys you talked about. I like Kopp, Wenberg, and Hyman out of those, but I like them all. But you asked me the most. I like Kopp. I really do. East and Seth Jones get traded for next season and then signs another team in free agency, so it wouldn't make sense to trade for him. Great point. Do you think McKinnon is a runaway for the Conn Smythe? I think if Colorado advances and continues to advance, yeah. I think he's the favorite for sure. And I'm fine with that. I have him in the 2 hockey pools that I'm in. Would you rather re-sign Edler or Sutter if we only keep one? My first reaction was Edler, because then you can insulate Juolevi a bit. But then we keep saying we need a third line center, and Sutter can fill that role. You'd think Sutter would be cheaper. He made 4 and Edler made 6. You want either of them to take around 2 or 2.5. Oh, gosh. If I had to pick one, I think I'd take Edler. Oh, gosh. But I'm the one who's saying let him retire and let us go with Hughes, Rathbone, and Juolevi, and then I'm not so sure about that. It's so close. I think Edler. Nugent Hopkins' brother was in my public speaking class in college. That's pretty cool, Lucas. How would you react if the Canucks got a top 2 pick in this year's draft? Not like we have a chance to. Oh, what do you think, Fangirl? I'd be over the moon. I'd be ecstatic. I'd write a song about it. I'm assuming we will see more Zoom interviews. Edmund, that was my initial thought, but then I really think that I'd have to focus on my studies. So we'll see. I want to be outside too. The weather's so nice and enjoying my backyard, but I can study outside, I guess. So by the way, remind me, later I have a fun little question for you inspired by my chat with Adam. And then I have some news about a podcast that I will be appearing on later in the week that I'm pretty excited about. Which of the players do you think will get a buyout? I think if any of them, Sir Jay, it would be Jake Virtanen. Would you package the 9th for Sam Reinhart? Mr. Cool, I wouldn't, because we didn't pick until the 3rd round last year, and we just saw how boring that draft was. Not that you want to just make it exciting, but we also have to beef up our prospect pool. Would you be okay having Boyd as a 3rd line center? Noah, I would. I've always said I've liked his versatility, and I think he has more to give. What place do you think the Canucks will draft My gut feeling is a team from below them is going to win one of the two spots, and a team from above them. So I think the Canucks will drop from 9th to 10th. But I love it, obviously, if they're first or second. Van City made AC. Hey, Clay, do you think that the Canucks need to or have to trade Beagle and Eriksson and even Edler to make the team younger? Technically, they could just let Edler walk and they can bury Beagle and Eriksson. So, yes, our team needs to get younger, but let's not do anything stupid. Let's not attach sweeteners to trades, trying to get Beagle and Eriksson out. Because you got to remember, what team's going to want to take them given the years that they've had? So I think it's best to ride it out for one more year and then let those contracts fall off the books. Nucksfan, would you say tonight's game is a prediction of the outcome of the series? Yeah, I have Colorado for sure beating Vegas. I didn't think it would be that badly. Clay for GM. Thank you, Average Joe. I think I'd do well. The Abbotsford Doe. Will you stream the Stanley Cup final? Samuel, I'm thinking about it. You guys know my theory, and I'm very honest with you. I'm not convinced. Okay, on one hand, streaming is I'll say it, it's an easy way to get views and subscribers, and it's not bad or fake. People like streams. They like watching people react. I get that. And I had a lot of fun when I did my one stream at the end of the year. I made a bit of money, which is not the priority, got a bunch of new subscribers, and I had a lot of fun. But you guys know my theory. I think it takes away from my viewing experience, honestly, because I guess I could watch with my family and have them around with me, but I kind of hogged the whole TV room. And I honestly think it takes away from your viewing experience. And you might say, oh, Clay, don't be so self-whatever, because I know that you could do anything. You could be watching TV, you could have your computer on, you could be, exercising. So it's not like I should dictate to you how you watch and enjoy content. I get that. I just don't. And I'm not looking for affirmation here. I'm not looking for you to say, oh, Clay, we love watching you stream. We love your reaction. We love your commentary. I just don't know if it's a pleasurable experience for you, but I guess that's on you. For me, I just know that sometimes it's not the most pleasurable experience for me because I'm always not catering, but have to be aware of what's happening. But if it's a Stanley Cup final between Colorado and Winnipeg, or Colorado and Tampa, or Winnipeg and Tampa, remember, 3 of my 4 favorite teams are still in the running, then maybe it might be worth it for a couple games. However, I do need to be studying as well, so I'm not sure if I can afford 3 hours. But if I'm watching anyways, okay, you're right. I'm all over the place. I have to get back to you and think about it a little more. Thank you, Samuel. See, if the Canucks were able to, would you rather go for Seth Jones or Tyson Barrie? I like Seth Jones better. I think he's a better defender. Tyson Barrie, just great offense, and I know the Canucks were after him at the draft of 2019. That's when I actually met Elliot Friedman, and I talked to him, and he was the one who was telling me that they had something lined up for Barrie that included Stetcher, which would make sense. But no, I like Seth Jones better, but I don't know all the contract situations. Pro gamers, yeah, I know, I'm just bugging you. Does Sutter resign with the Canucks? He wants to fangirl. I think it's 50-50 right now. Liam, do you see Canucks making a trade specifically to Colorado because of their issues with the expansion draft? A guy like Graves might be nice in Vancouver. Yeah, there are teams like Nashville, Carolina, Colorado, many teams that have some expansion draft concerns. So I wouldn't say specifically Colorado, but I do think the Canucks need to leverage their positioning for sure. Sean, hi Clay, thanks for your hard work. Always enjoy your blogs or vlogs. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Love your name too. That's my middle name, Clayton Sean Emo. And then you guys know my firstborn's name is Sean. It's interesting. Usually when you name a kid, it's usually you give your first name and you make your kid's middle name your first name. So Sean would be something Clay Emo. But we went the other way. We made my middle name his first name, and we're happy with it. Shea Family Channel, if you could pick any player to add to the Canucks, present or past, who would it be? If you're talking about ex-Canuck or whatever, I think Pavel Bure would look really good on this roster right now. If you're talking about any player, I would like to see what McDavid, Gretzky, or McKinnon could do with us. Who do you think is the best keeper in the playoffs so far? Grubauer's been good. Vasilevsky's been good. Rask has been good. Hollaback's been good. Any of those 4? I haven't seen Hellebuyck play in a while, but he shut down Winnipeg pretty good. Maybe Hellebuyck. He's only had to play 4 times, so he's rested. Did you hear about the Celtics fan throwing water bottle at Kyrie? I hate fans thinking they're entitled. Yeah, I heard about it. I haven't read about it yet, though, but that's so stupid. Sean, who's your pick for the Kraken for the Canucks, considering Bertan's legal issues and Beagle moving to LTIR? Well, the Beagle moving to LTIR isn't confirmed, Sean, but I don't think Kraken would take them. I've always said that the Kraken will take Lind or McEwen, whichever one of those twos we don't protect. Because we will protect up front Pettersson, Miller, Besser, Horvat, Pearson, and Mott. So that means that leaves Lind, McEwen, Gadjevich. So I think it'll be Lind or McEwen. Oh, yeah, of course. Price has been really good, too, of course. If a player gets drafted to a team, can that player deny going in that specific team? Yes, Tayeb, they can. You can hold out. You can refuse to sign a contract, and then you get you become a free agent. I don't think you re-enter the draft. I need to look it up. But no, there's been players. It's a bad look, right? But think of Eric Lindros. He got drafted by Quebec, didn't want to play there, and forced a trade that made Quebec, now Colorado, so good back in the day. How many years does Juolevi get? Bridge deal? Yeah, he only gets 1 or 2, I think. They got to see what they have in him. Favorite Bure moment in your opinion? It's got to be that goal against Game 7 against Calgary in overtime. No, I'm not making Jim Benning a mod. Thanks though, Jean, for the suggestion. Who do you think is getting the Norris? I always thought it was Hedman, but then, gosh, Adam Fox came on so strong at the end of the season. Do you give it to a guy who's from a non-playoff team? Makar, his regular season was just okay. His playoffs has been amazing, but we're talking about regular season. I don't know. I think it's Hedman or Fox. Maybe that's the obvious answer, though. Some funny things. Favorite Zoom moment of all the Zoom chats on your channel? I had wonderful moments talking to like Marie and my brother Jason, Jens, my season ticket neighbor, and some of the YouTubers. But I must say I had there are two. The one with Thomas Drance where we were joking about when I said the Canucks will be good in 4 or 5 years, and he wouldn't believe me. But now look, I think I could be on the right track. That got a lot of play for sure. And Rob Fay had me in stitches, which some of the stories he was telling. When Rob Fay told me the Hulk Hogan story, I thought that was pretty funny as well. A lot of great moments, though. I don't want to single too many out because I want to respect everyone, but those are a couple that stand out in my mind. Great question, Fangirl. Justin, I'm doing great. Hope you're well as well. Joining late tonight. Thoughts on Seth Jones probably being available? Yeah, I talked about that earlier, Justin. I just said as long as the price isn't too much. I wouldn't trade for him though, obviously, because he's going to be free agent after a year or so. But the Canucks can clear off cap space and make a run at him for sure, next summer. And by the way, Justin, we'll play tomorrow's chat if the Montreal and Toronto are still playing. But I'll message you. So yeah, do you think the Canucks should target someone like Jake Bean from Carolina that won't be protected? Yeah, I think that's a great target. A young player for sure. Yeah, I think Jake Bean's good. I think they might also have trouble protecting Warren Fogle. So those are a couple of names from Carolina. Will you sign Galchenyuk? His cap hit is 1. No, I don't like him. I just think he's okay. Is it true that Beagle may be on LTIR? Thought I heard about it. People were saying that, but Thomas Drance has come out pretty strongly against that. By the way, thanks for your feedback too. On Friday or Saturday morning, I did a vlog about which media members locally do you trust and got some great traction from that one. Thank you. No problem, Coach Rob. Nice to see you. Take care of yourself. Who you got for Game 7? Montreal? If you had the option, would you go to an Abbotsford game next season? Yes, absolutely, Lucas. Let's go together. Shannon, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I have a headache coming on. No problem, Shannon. Thanks for being here. Clay for president? You mean of the Canucks or overall? Harry, hi Clay. Did I join late? Well, it depends. Considering we started at 10, who will advance to face the Jets tomorrow? I think it'll be Montreal. When Podkolzin joins the team, do you think he'll play in the top 6 or top 9? I think you start him in the top 9. Remember, Horvat started as a fourth line center between Dorsett and someone else. But you could start Podkolzin on the third line. Imagine a line with like Mott, Podkolzin, and a center of Boyd or Sutter or something. I think that would be pretty good. Or you could really impress out of camp and do what Hoglander did, and imagine bumping Pearson to the third line, and you go Hoglander, Podkolzin with Horvat. I think that's a little too inexperienced. I actually think Podkolzin and Hoglander will be fighting for the same spot in the top 6. That's my guess. Prediction for the Habs Leafs game. Let's say Montreal 4-2, because I was going to pick 4-2. Let's get Clay to 10,000 subscribers. Well, I'd have to get to 600 first, but thank you, fangirl. It'll come one day. Hopefully before I turn 60 years old. During the offseason, who needs more work on defense for the next season? Ulevi, for sure. Everything just went off. Did my power go off, or did all my... I think I just had a power outage. Give me a sec, everyone. No, I couldn't have a power outage because that thing's going. Hold on a sec. You just saw how smart I am. I thought I had a power outage even though there was still a light on. So that means something's unplugged. Oh, I see. Clay, not so smart. Because if I had power outage, the stream would have shut down because there's no internet. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes look of what happens when I forget to plug in the laptop that is powering my ring lights. So I'm so stupid. I can't believe I said power outage, yet there's a light on still, still behind me. And I see lights over there and my stream is still going. Not my finest moments. Okay. Let's try and focus. We're at the 42-minute mark. Okay, let me rip through some of these. That was so bad. That was almost as memorable as the car accident and the sinking chair. Let me know if you were here for the sinking chair video. It happened right here, and it had an older desk chair. And I just couldn't get it to stay, and that was ridiculous. I kept dropping. I kept sinking throughout the stream. Okay. Thoughts on Vasily Podkolzin? Hey, Harry, I know you're late. It's not your fault, but I talked about it actually at length in the opening, so I'll just say it's obviously very good and it was certainly expected as well. What should Abbotsford name their new team? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We've heard Arrows. We've suggestions, Millionaires, two that I hear a lot. Is Vertanen still getting paid? Yeah, he's not suspended, so I believe he's on leave from the team, but I still think he gets paid, but I don't know that for sure. No problem, Noah. Thanks for being here. Hyman would be good, Ace. Do you think Hughes was going through some type of injury that contributed to his struggle this season? Heard some people say this. That's a tough one, Sieditz. I also think that people played him a lot tougher this year than last year. I don't know. I haven't heard that from a credible source yet, so I don't know that. Yeah, the Podkolzin versus Caulfield. Good Caulfield, very good, Rome. That's a really good point. Christopher, potential Podkolzin. He can be a solid second liner, tweener first liner, but if he gets to second liner, I'd be thrilled. Not necessarily this season, but he'll get there. What do Pettersson and Hughes get money and term? I'm still of the idea that they'll both get short-term contracts, 3 years. I say Pettersson gets 7.5 to 8, and Hughes gets about between 6 and 6.5. So somewhere between 14 and 13.5 to 14.5 million between the two of them. That's my guess. That's what I'd hope for, at least. Would you rather have Matthew Tkachuk or Brady Tkachuk? Oh, they're both very... I like... Matthew seems a little bit more pugnacious, kind of annoying, though. It might be hard, you know... There's rumors that he's not well liked in his dressing room. Maybe Brady. Maybe I take Brady, actually. Him and Quinn Hughes are buddies, so that would be cool. You can re-enter the draft after not signing after 2 seasons. Thank you, Sean. So yes, Makar also didn't play for a full season. Great point. Have you renewed your season ticket memberships, Clay? Harry, yeah, we... It's like the opposite. We haven't not renewed, if that makes sense. But they still have our money from 2 seasons ago. And we have all intentions to renew. I should talk to Mike. He's the one who controls our tickets. The Hulk Hogan story from Faye. Yeah, that was hilarious. Should the Norris be for best overall, then add Bobby Orr for most offensive and an award for best defensive? No, I wouldn't split it 3 ways. Best overall, then best offensive, best defense. Just say best defenseman. And if you want to value offense, which they seem to do, that's fine. If you want to value defense, that's fine, but no, I wouldn't go 3. Thoughts on Sedin's joining and what are their roles? I think it's great. I think they're trusted. They're smart. I talked about this in my vlog today. And they've learned from the Linden experiment. So maybe they become senior advisors or hockey operations, something like that. Yeah, I trade Louis for Jones. Yeah. Who should the Canucks get this offseason? Talked about this earlier, Mr. Fuzzy Wuzzy. Bunch of guys who are UFAs who are coming off $2.3, $2.4, $2.5 million contracts. Hyman, Fogle, Wenberg, Bukestad, Andrew Kopp, to name a few. Do you think that Marc-Andre Fleury will still be with the Golden Knights? That's a good question. I think he's, I think he's the preferred goaltender over Robin Lehner right now. No problem, pro gamers. Who should the Canucks draft? Who do you want to draft? Should they trade up to get Luke Hughes? I don't see them trading up to get Luke Hughes. But there will be a good defenseman or a couple good forwards in when they pick. I'm not a prospects expert, so I would be throwing out names that I don't even know exist. So I shouldn't answer that yet, Chris. But I'm going to learn a lot more before Wednesday. See edits. On a contending team, would Besser be on your top line? My cousin had a debate with me on this, and I wanted to hear your take. On a contending team, I still think Besser could be on the top line. Sure, he's good for 30 or 35 goals when he's healthy. And he was on, as we know, he was on track for that. So I would say yes. On a contending team, Besser can still be a top line player. He's a first round draft pick, rookie, run up to rookie of the year. Yeah, he's not going to be, the best first line player ever, but I think he's a bona fide first line player. Edits, tell me which side you took. I presume you took my side and your cousin didn't, but let me know. Let me know. Okay, I'm going to have to go really fast to get through everything. Thanks, Hati. Also, 2 years after the draft, re-enter. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, we're at 48 minutes. I got to move fast. Reeve suspension? Yes, I think so. Thank you, Lucas. 7K. I appreciate that. We still see you. Someone turn off the room light. Did the breaker trick? Yeah, that was embarrassing. Well, you would not have... Yeah, I don't know why I thought there's Clays in the dark. Yeah, that was the true Canucks After Dark. We should tell Parker tomorrow night that I experienced a true Canucks After Dark moment. Halloween. Yeah, Canucks After Dark. Very good, Jean. That's very funny. Sneak peek Canucks After Dark. Okay, you guys are Canucks Clay. Okay, you guys are way ahead of me. When you're trying to answer a question, light bulb goes out. Yeah, Toki, that happens to me a lot. I was here for the sinking chair. Out of Suzuki, KK, and Caulfield, who do you think has the brighter future? Gosh, they're all good. I really like Suzuki's game. Maybe because I'm biased because I'm half Japanese. All three. I'd say Kokinami. I can't even say his name. Yeah, he's not a bust at all. It's just a little slower to get going. Who is the brighter future? Yeah, maybe Suzuki. I don't know. I just like Suzuki's game. Sinking chair. I don't know the actual date. Sinking chair. Yes, the chair. Nice glasses. Where do you get them? Ever buy online? No, I need to replace these. These are about 6 years old now. But I have a friend from my church owns an optical shop in Richmond. Thoughts on Marner's Matthews' lack of production in the playoffs? It's going to be the big storyline, see edits. If they don't advance, it's going to be the big storyline. Price has obviously been good. Montreal's had a good game plan, but yeah, it's just like McDavid and Draisaitl didn't do much except for one game. Pretty crazy how that happens. Just shows that you can't just get by on superstars. Beast Mode, I don't know who the Canucks should draft at 9th. I have to do more research. I started to do that research today, but I'm not confident making, some people say Brant Clark may fall that far, so maybe that's someone we could look at. Monkey Nine Brewing is in Richmond, 6th Road in Steveston, and it's wonderful. Brew pub. Great food, great drinks, obviously. Bunch of big screens, wonderful place. They sponsored all my post-game live streams, and they're connected to the bowling alley that me and my kids are always at. Very, very good. Great food. Okay, so Easton says under 6 for Hughes. That's fair. Vasi or Fleury for Vezina? If I had to pick one, I'd go Vasilevsky. Who's your source for Canucks breaking news? Dollywall. Even though Geo Rebirth, I'm not sure if you're asking me back because I asked that in my vlog. All three are good, but Dollywall is the one I trust the most. Drance and Patterson, they don't necessarily break the news, but they do a good job breaking it down. But Dollywall is the one who breaks the news. See, edits, I took your side too because I took the other side. Besser's overrated. I listed all 31 teams and told them how many Besser play in the top line. Oh, cool. See, edits, how many of those 31 teams would he be? That's cool. All right, so Clay, what's going on, buddy? I'm great. Hope you were well. How confident are you with Benning wanting to be aggressive, considering his history when he tries to be aggressive? As long as he's aggressive in a different type of aggressive way, if I read it as at least exploring options, that's okay, as long as it's no bad contracts. Easier said than done. Professor Dogwood, yeah, I don't smoke a pipe, sip brandy, or wear a robe as much as people would love to see that. But yeah, it's me, and it's actually the brainchild of ParkersPucks, another YouTuber, and he asked me if I would partner with him. I said yes. So we do it every Monday night at 10. It's fun. Jean is asking for permission from the mods, so I don't know what to expect. Have you heard of Ian Clark being signed? Not yet, but I hear it's going to happen. At least that's the thought. Also, your take on the Leafs game tomorrow, Montreal 4-2. What do you think happens with Toronto management-wise and roster-wise? I think management-wise, they're safe. I think roster-wise, they may tweak a little bit. But will they blow it up? I'm not so sure. Post-pandemic party at Lucky Night and Monkey Nine. You know that's the plan, Lucas. When we get to see Jet win the lineup, I think he's still a couple years away. Dogwood is funny. Permission granted. Okay. So, Jean, okay, let's go 3 to 4 minutes of Ask Me Anything now. No more Canucks or hockey-related questions. After this, are you surprised Leafs went to Game 7? I am. I certainly didn't have this series going 7 for sure. And now that it's going 7, I think they're going to lose. Who has the higher upside, Lockwood or Cole Lind? Originally is Lind by draft position, but I like what I saw from Lockwood in that one game. All right, let's go. 3 or 4 minutes of non-Canucks, non-hockey related. Then I have a bit of news and I have a funny question for you at the very end just to have some fun. Often you hang out at the Roxy. Calvin, I've gone once in my entire life. First movie you ever saw in theaters? Don't know for sure, but I know E.T. is one that I remember back in 82, so I was 8 years old. I'm sure I saw something before that. Just can't remember. Favorite martial arts actor? I like the old Bruce Lee stuff for sure. I don't watch a lot of martial arts stuff. I don't like the Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal. And so maybe I go Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Who is your first guest on Canucks After Dark with my proposed programming format? With the brandy and the pipe? Good question. I think Dollywall or the Moj would be good fits for that. What have you ate for dinner? Like in my life or today? Today I had udon and bone soup and dumplings. Dream card, not a big car guy. So I'm happy with what I actually never think about. Maybe a nice convertible Mercedes, but I don't know a lot about cars, to be honest with you, Ethan. Living in city or living where I live, the photos I sent you. Nucks fan, those were beautiful photos, but I'm a city guy, admittedly, and I know my wife is definitely a city girl for sure. For sure. First concert you want to see when concerts are back. I would love to go to Bruno Mars. I've never seen him live. Open to doing a party in August? Yep, I'm open to that. Favorite sport other than hockey? To play bowling and volleyball. To watch football and basketball. I gave you more than one. Clay, who you got, Mayweather or Logan? Mayweather? Are you taking any summer classes? I'm taking Intro to Fun. Yeah, I'm starting my my fifth master's course tomorrow. I was talking about that earlier, Chris, that it's going to be a more stressful summer than I'm used to. One or two things about your personality you like to improve. Oh, Rome, that's a great question. One of them is at humor. At work, I use self-deprecating humor a lot to make other people feel better. And I think once in a while, it makes me sound unconfident when I'm not. I'm very confident, maybe too confident. But in my effort to make others feel better, I put down myself a lot. And it's just kind of my human nature. But I think I need to pick a time and place better than that. For sure. The other one is, as much as I say that who am I to judge, I am quite judgmental. Sometimes I form biases quite easily. So those are two that I think I like to improve. Great question, Rome. Of all the WWE pay-per-views, which one is your favorite? I like the Royal Rumble, actually. I think the concept's pretty cool. Crown to Dolly, exactly, Meowza. Did you watch some Japanese animes? I don't. My son Jacob watches like one, Haiku, the volleyball one. Favorite music from the 80s? That was just when like It Takes Two, DJ Rob Bass, Tone Loc, that kind of stuff. But I did like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston in the 80s as well. Okay, I'm just going to try and answer a few more. And then a language you'd want to learn if given the chance. Italian, Latin, or Tagalog, Filipino. Who's your favorite Pokemon? I have no clue. Never watched the thing. Favorite band? Boys to Men is my favorite group. Dream travel vacation somewhere you've never been and somewhere you have been. I love to go back to Hawaii and I love to try Australia. If you had 20 million, what would be your dream neighborhood to live in the Lower Mainland? 20 million bucks. I think I would live maybe in West Van. Oh, that traffic is so bad. Maybe I'd live in central Vancouver. Maybe I'd still live in Richmond, actually, just a bit further away from people. Do you hope to develop your channel so that you can retire in the distant future? No, not. I will never make enough from YouTube, Rome, to do that. So I just want to have fun with this channel and make sure that I'm not stressed out. I see a lot of YouTubers getting stressed out because they want to go full time or they're not doing as well as they want to. I never want to get to that point. And if I do, someone slap me upside the head or tell me to quit. Because if I'm not having fun, if it looks like I'm not having fun, if it looks like this is a burden, then I don't want to do it anymore. And I have the luxury of having other sources of actual income. What streaming setup do you... Yes, I use Streamlabs. What would you do if I won the lottery? Pay off my mortgage for this house, donate a bunch to my church and archdiocese, and probably help set up my kids for the future, and then take Gail on a really long trip. Favorite Friends character? Don't watch the show. More Zoom interviews coming. I mentioned that, Edmund. Probably not for the next little bit. I want to focus on my studies. C edits. A singer you would want to meet? Definitely Bruno. Change the channel to something non-Canucks related. What would be? Probably talking about either music or Japanese food or the intersection of faith and family. Favorite Saved by the Bell character? Oh, I like Slater. Top 3 favorite NHL teams? Oh, that's an easy one. People on here know this one. It's Winnipeg, Tampa, and Colorado. Favorite Summer Olympic sports? I love the sprints, the 100 meters. What's a movie you didn't see in a theater that you wish you did? I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies yet. Would you want to be a panelist on Sportsnet or TSN? If I had to choose one, I like the TSN programming and production better. Clay, what's one place you would live forever for the rest of your life? Not in BC. California, maybe. We really enjoy it there. Would you consider having people on via Zoom or calling in? Not sure, dear. I like what I'm doing now. I don't want to add a level of complication, but if I learn more about how to stream properly, I know I could make it work. It would add a different flavor for sure. Yeah, I'd consider it. Would you want to eat at Hell's Kitchen from Gordon Ramsay? Sure. Or what would you eat? Some good steak for sure. Among the 3 kids, who do you think is the best cook among them? That would be Sean, then Kayla, then Jacob. Jacob cooks the most, but that's because he just eats Ichiban and hot dogs and chicken. I think Sean's the best cook. He does a lot of the barbecuing and stuff. Hidden talents. Don't have a lot of hidden talents. Can't sing. I can play the piano. I'm good at music. Decent at some sports. Hidden talent. I'm really good at math. That sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm good at math, mental math, that kind of thing. Have you dined in recently? No, not in a long time. Just Monkey 9, actually. Okay, that's good. We're at an hour. So thank you for those questions. Really quickly, I want to wrap this up. I'll ask you the question. I want you to type stuff up and I'll read the answers later. And then I'll tell you my news and then we'll wrap up. Adam and I, in our Hall of Fame chat today, we had a funny talk about reality TV. And we were talking about Survivor. And I told him that I don't think I would do that well in Survivor because I don't swim well. I have a very weak stomach. I'd be going the can, but there's no can, so I'd be in the bushes all the time. And I think from a social game, I think I'd be pretty good. But then I think I'd get booted out because I'd either think I'm too bossy or I'm too fake or too positive and just annoying. At least that's what my family tells me. So I don't think I'd be good on Survivor. So what I'd like to know, at the risk of looking like I'm bragging, or looking for affirmation, but who cares? This is my Zoom. This is my live stream anyways. Just type in the comments, what reality show do you think I would be good at? Be honest. And don't say anything with singing because you guys know I don't sing. So don't say The Voice. Don't say American Idol. Don't say The Masked Singer. And don't say The Biggest Loser either. But say whatever you want. What's one reality show that you think Clay Emo, you think I might do well in, and why? Tell me why. I just think it'd be kind of funny, and maybe I'll remember some of these funny answers for a next stream. So what reality show do you think I would do okay in, and tell me why? Put that in the comments as we wrap up here. One piece of news: my cousin Dusty Emo, goaltending coach, maybe not for Vancouver, but maybe somewhere else soon. He has launched a new podcast in the past 6 months called Motley Thoughts. And he's going to have me on his podcast on Thursday. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll be recording on Thursday night with my cousin Dusty. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stream that night. We'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being a guest on someone else's show. I've done a few of those and I love doing it. But I'm looking forward to being on my cousin Dusty's podcast this Thursday. And then I'll let you know, soon afterwards when that gets released. Okay? So thanks everyone. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to read some. I'm looking at some of your answers. They're pretty funny. Tell me why though too. Just along with give me the name of a show. Oh, Naked and Afraid. Okay, I'll read those later. Those are pretty funny. So you guys, thanks for being here as always. Tomorrow, Game 7, Montreal and Toronto. That should be a lot of fun. Check out my vlog from earlier today. It was Ask Me Anything. And my vlog from yesterday was about Vasily Podkolzin. Tomorrow night, Parker and me, Canucks After Dark. Normally, not with my lights going out because my computer died. So that'll be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. I hope you can join us then. In the meantime, moderators, thank you. Appreciate you as always. Monkey 9, thank you. And to all of you for sticking with me tonight, thank you. I invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you for the donation, Hsmfangirl Gaming. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video on your way out. And make sure you consider becoming a member if that's something that you would like to do. You can ask the Hall of Fame members and the franchise members and even the All-Stars just how cool it is to be a member of the CCC crew. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I can't wait to read all of your funny, your funny suggestions for a reality show down below in the comments. And I will end up with this joke today. A guy walked into a bar, but then he got disqualified from the limbo competition. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah!